Okay, let's go on. And in the next example, we will explore function scope, and we will try to access parameters of the function outside of the function. So, example 3, and here let's call it function scope. Again, declare function using function declaration, function myFunction. Again, here two parameters, a and b, and inside of the function body, let's log to the console a and b on one line, like this. And here, let's log to the console myFunction and call it with two arguments 3 and 2. And here below, let's log to the console a, console.log a, like this. Let's save, and I get uncaught reference error, a is not defined. And this error is result of the line 51, this one. That's what I have told you before. If you use specific parameter names inside of the function, you are able to access those parameters only inside of the body of this function. And those parameters are not available outside. Also, I have told you that parameters are actually variables, but they are specific variables, and you are able to assign initial values of those variables using arguments, like we did here. That's why on this line we get 3 and 2, because variable a has value 3 and variable b has value 2. On the next line we get undefined, because again my function doesn't have any return keyword, and that's why by default it returns undefined. And this undefined is result of this line. But the main point of this example is that you are not able to access parameters of the function outside of it. Same with b. If I will add console log b here, and let's comment this line and save, I will get same error, but now b is not defined. If I will uncomment this line and save, I will get only one error. That's because JavaScript engine will immediately stop execution of JavaScript code if it throws such kind of error, because this error is critical and it's not possible to continue a code execution if such error occurs. Okay, let me copy this error and paste here on this line as a comment. Okay, let me comment this example and let's move on to the next one. And in the next example, I will try to use same name for parameters in different functions. Example 4, reuse parameter names. And again, let's declare my function first. It will have again two parameters a and b, function body, empty function body. And here let's declare one more function, my function 2. Let's call actually this function my function 1, and this will be my function 2. And here again we will add two parameters a and b, and function body. If I will save, I will not get any errors here, because it's completely fine if you use same names of the parameters in different functions. That's because of scope. Those parameters are limited only to the function scope of corresponding functions. In this case, a and b will be available only here inside of my function 1. Same with a and b in my function 2. Those two parameters will be available only here inside of this function, my function 2. Let's prove this. Let's log to the console a and b here, and let's copy this line and paste it here. And below, let's call my function 1 and call it with arguments 2 and 3. And here below, let's call my function 2 with arguments 5 and 7. Let's save, and here I get this result. 2 and 3 are printed by my function 1 here, and 5 and 7 are printed by my function 2 here on this line. More than that, you can even have variables with those names a and b outside of those functions. For example, let me declare variables a and b here. Let's use const for that. Const a equal to true and const b equal to null. Let's save, and no error here. And now if I will try to access A and B here, console.log A, B, I will get true and null. I will not get 2, 3, 5 or 7. I will get true and null. Let me add here comment, true and null. And here I will get 5, 7, and here I will get 2 and 3. Okay, this example shows you that you are able to reuse same names for parameters here in different functions, and also you can use same names for variables outside of the functions. And those scopes here and here are called function scopes. And this scope where those two variables A and B are declared and assigned is called global scope. And we will talk about scopes more deeply later on. But for now, please keep in mind that you can easily reuse same parameter names in different functions. Okay, let me comment out this example, save, and let's move on to the next example. Example 5. And in this example, let's finally add return keyword into the function. Add return. Let's now create function with other name instead of my function, and now let's create function called sum. It will have two parameters, A and B, and here inside of the function I will simply return A plus B, like this, return A plus B. And that's all. Let's save this. For now I will get nothing here, because now this function is not called. Let's call it here below, sum, and let's pass two arguments, 10 and 5. Let's save, again nothing. But if I will call this function directly here in the console, like this, for example, sum 2 and 5, I will get 7. And here in the console of the browser, you see how this value is returned back as a result of the function call. We can call this function here again and again. For example, sum 10 and 3. I get 13. Sum ABC and 2. What I get? I get string ABC2. Surprised? No worries, we will talk about that later on. Let's try to call sum without any arguments. I get not a number. And remember that not a number is special value of number value type. And why we get not a number here? How do you think? That's because A and B will be assigned default values undefined. And here we will try to sum undefined and undefined. And in such cases, JavaScript engine will always return not a number. That's why not a number is returned back as a result of the function call. Okay, let me add here this into the code. Here function returns 15, but we see nothing in the console. If I will log to the console result of the function call like this, sum 2 and 5, I will get 7. Let me copy this line and paste here. If I will call function with numbers 10 and 3, I will get 13. Paste again. If I will call function with ABC and 2, I will get string ABC2. And paste again. If I will call function without any parameters, I will get here not a number. Let's save this, and here are those results. Okay, let me comment out this example, and let's move on to the next one. And in the next one, we will continue discussion about return keyword. And we will discuss what will happen after return keyword. So let's save this, and here will be example 6. What happens after return? Question sign. And here let's declare a function again called myFunction, and it will have only one parameter, parameter A. And here inside of the body of the function, let's first log to the console A, console.log A, then return A, And after this return statement, again log to the console a once again. And let's try to call this function here below. My function, and let's call it with argument 10. Notice that VS Code has made this line a little bit darker than this line. And it was made on purpose. And now you will understand why. Let's save this, and we get only one number 10 here in the console, despite of two console log statements here inside of the function. It means that function execution stops immediately after return statement. Let me add here comment. Function stops here. And that is very important. As soon as function returns, it stops its execution. We can add other lines here below this one. For example, we can declare a new variable const c equals sign 10. We can log to the console c. But again, you see that all those lines after return a are grayed out. It means that they will not be executed. Let's save this, and again we get same result. And of course, if I will try to call this function directly here in the console, let's pass argument true and execute. I will get true as a result of this console log statement here on this line 98. And I will get true as a result of my function call. And it is a result of this return statement. You can easily distinguish result of the function call by this small back arrow. And this tells you that this value is returned by this function that was called here. Remember that same happens when we enter simply any value here in the console of the browser. For example, if I print here ABC and press enter, you will see that ABC is returned back here. Or if I simply type 3 and press enter, I again get 3 back. Same behavior as here. Okay, let's summarize. If function has return keyword and it returns something, then function execution will stop immediately when function will hit return statement. And in this example, my function simply returns value of a. And you see that here on this line we will get 10. Or we will get another result if you call function with other argument. If function doesn't have return statement, it will return undefined at the end of the function body. So if I will remove this statement here, simply comment it out and save, I will see 3 10s here in the console. In fact, let's change value of c here to 20 in order to distinguish lines. And here I get 10, 10 and 20. So 10 I get as a result of this statement. Next 10 I will get here on this line 100. It is again value of variable a. And 20 I get here on this line, and here I get value of variable c. And again, this variable c is limited only to the my function scope. It is not available outside. If I will try to access c here, c and enter, I'll get reference error, c is not defined. But here inside of the my function, I am able to access value of variable c. Okay, let me uncomment this line, comment out this example 6, save, and let's finally get to challenges. And you will get your first challenges dedicated to functions after the pause. See you! Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Link to the next video in this section you will find here. Link to the playlist for this section you will find here. If you want to enroll in the full-length JavaScript Bible course, link is now here. See you in the next videos, and I wish you good luck. Bye-bye.